Hi, my name is Conflict History and I'm a big fan of battleships. With their massive size and firepower, they shaped our history and politics for decades. But they quickly disappeared after the Second World War. Today, only 8 battleships are left, all serving as museums. Now to my question, is there a chance that we will see a new generation of battleships? How would the 21st century battleship look like? Let me answer you this question. Okay, so which nation is most likely to build a new generation of battleships? I bet we have all the same country in mind, the United States. No other nation has the experience and capabilities to build these massive ships. The US Navy was also the last user of battleships. During the first Gulf War, the Iowa-class battleship USS Missouri used their main guns and cruise missiles to destroy targets in Iraq. The US is also the only nation that preserved many of their battleships. Still today you can see 4 Iowa-class, 2 South Dakota-class, 1 North Carolina-class and 1 Texas-class battleships. Now to the next question. How would we call our ship? I have 3 names in mind: Illinois, Kentucky or Montana. The Illinois and Kentucky were 2 uncompleted ships of the Iowa class. The construction of the Kentucky continued after the war and was 72% ready before it was cancelled. Now to the other name. Montana was planned to be the first ship of the Montana class. Bigger and deadlier than the Iowa class, it was planned to be the peak of US naval dominance. But the rise of the aircraft carriers made this giant unnecessary. So let us choose the name Montana, because it's one of the few states that never gave its name to a battleship. Hooray, our BB-65 Montana is born. But how does she look? I bet all of you know the Zumwalt class destroyer. Now just imagine a Zumwalt but bigger and with nuclear engines. This way it can carry more guns, missiles and, more important, drones. Would our ship be as big as a Ford class carrier? Probably not. Realistic would be a displacement of 30 to 45,000 tons. What skills would our ship be able to perform? I don't want to exaggerate, but it should be able to perform the tasks of a whole carrier strike group. One of the biggest critic points of aircraft carriers is their massive operational cost. Because they are so valuable, they have to be always escorted by a number of destroyers, protecting them from planes, missiles and submarines. So how would our Montana do that? Easy, with drones. Unmanned vessels would patrol around it to monitor the sea and airspace. The giant tower of the Montana would collect the information to ensure the safety of the ship. Would our Montana have battleship guns? Yes and no. Classical battleship guns would not be my weapon of choice because of their limited range. But another powerful weapon would take their place. A very powerful weapon. Railguns. Better said, multiple railguns. I mean, these guns can destroy everything. Ships? No problem. Planes? No problem. Missiles? You juice it. No problem. With a range of multiple hundred kilometers, it can even strike at land targets. And the best of all, it would only cost a fraction of what a missile would cost. That's also the reason why the ship needs nuclear engines. Railguns need much energy. To power multiple of them, we would need a real strong engine. And nuclear engines are the best on the market. So how realistic is it that we would see our ship? To be honest, not really. This would need a large shift in US naval thinking, and they just ordered multiple Ford class carriers that will be in service for decades. It's unrealistic that they will start to build other capital ships. Okay, so this is future conflict, and while I was editing this video, I accidentally stumbled over a real US Navy concept of a battleship, the Arsenal ship. I looked at the concept art and saw the number 72, so which hull designation ended with 71? And it was the USS Louisiana, also known as BB-71. It was a Montana class battleship and ordered in 1950, and also like every other Montana class battleship, never built. So an Arsenal ship could carry hundreds to thousands of cruise missiles, and a ship like this would be a big threat to America's enemies. It could destroy any ship and aircraft in its way and bombard a whole country. But because of the end of the Cold War, it was not needed anymore and never built like many other cool shit. Instead, 4 Ohio-class subs were modified to carry around 154 Tomahawk missiles. So at the end of the video I can only say who knows. Maybe the rising strength of Russia and China will lead the US to look out for a new ship that can dominate a whole sea. And all of us know which ship can do this. The battleship.